I'm Margaret Ann Windsor and kidnapped in 41 at age 2 and brought to Moulton, Alabama. Um, and I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Shoulders. They gave me a dead person's name, little girl. I'm been telling about the Illuminati. They're the ones that kidnapped me, took down my father, Edward VIII, who was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor from Madison, Wisconsin. They were still alive and married to each other October the 20th of 86. They'd stayed married. They took his name. A double married Wallace Simpson and became the illegal title of Duke and Duchess of Windsor. The Illuminati were the ones that made George the Sixth. He's illegal, so I'm not going to give him his title of George the Sixth. I guess it doesn't matter if I do or not. But anyway, Elizabeth is illegal. They're a bunch of crooks. Illuminati put them up, and they actually worked for the Illuminati. And they got it. They flaunt it before the British. And who do you think created all these wars? Everybody's hoodlums and terrorists, but Now, what I'm getting to here is I put so much up, and I really, just let me say this, I'm watching CNN, I'm watching Vice President Pence. Last one I thought would make these comments. Evidently they're in Germany or in one of the European nations there, which is biblical, along with what he's saying. This is what I've been telling. I was writing about the Tesla files and shootings and programming people to shoot, and you can cure illnesses or create one. So all this medical is, they've had cures since probably before 1930, not 36. And the Tesla files were stolen by the Illuminati. And this is what gets me. Pence is over there and he's talking to Andrea Merkel. And that's the biblical European nations. And the UK is going to withdraw, I believe, the 1st of April from it. Should never have happened. But then look at all what's happened to the UK and to Germany and France and et cetera, et cetera. All these people where the wars were created, and it left them homeless, and they're rushing out into other countries trying to find a home. And look at the UK and look at Germany. Look at the countries there. How the overflow and what it's done to them. And I couldn't believe, and I wish I could have written down his comments, but he's talking to Andrea Merkel, talking about the League of Nations over there. He's even, how did he phrase it? The old world order, okay, something that it wasn't working anymore, and the new world order, well, in essence, that's what he said would work. I may not have one or two words in there, but that was what he said. And I thought, my God, he's really, I wish I could put it down. It was something else. He's talking about the global government I've been talking about, the Illuminati, the New World Order, the United Nations. I've been telling this and telling it. The United Nations is what happened when they took down my father and kidnapped me. And Winston Churchill and Archbishop Cosmos Prost that helped in the takedown of my father. He didn't, oddly enough, the Archbishop didn't agree with my father marrying my mom. Beautiful school teacher, good family, the O'Keefes, very good, from Madison, Wisconsin. And in other words, Winston Churchill was a sorry sot that made him out to be good. Anyway, they took down my father for the purpose he wouldn't follow their orders. Elizabeth's one of the highest ranking members. Very people that took our country down. The UK, the goal was to take down the British Empire and establish the global government, which is in power now. I couldn't believe the words, and I wish I had gotten his exact words, but he said something about, and Prime Minister Andrea Merkel was, I don't want to misstate what they said, but she was in agreeing with him. Do you realize this is biblical? You're talking about, I never knew it would be when I started out writing the book. Illuminati and chipping people. I was talking about putting chips in heart bypasses and root canals, and you can program people without their knowledge. And I've told how it's done. And I've told about the shootings, how some of these murders over the years, like Larry Flint, I keep using him because I think they meant to. He flew me out to his home in '83 I was U.S. candidate for House of Representatives from Georgia when 7th District. When one of the doctors I wrote about in the book, MD A License to Kill, I was trying to get it published. Larry Flint was shot next door to me in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was living in Marietta. So I'd never met him. I knew that it was a program shooting done in patterns. And later, of course, he flew me out there during that campaign. And the global government is what is in power now. And they're going to have this, they're talking about the election that's going to be coming up, 2020. I wish I could have put it, what he was saying down. I was kind of shocked, and I don't have shorthand either. I mean, he was outspoken. I don't think I've ever heard anybody, especially a vice president, be so outspoken about a global government being in place already because the old one wasn't working. So you're ready for your banks to be closed down, the Rothschilds that helped kidnap me, take down my father, because he's a good guy, and look what history's done to it. You willing to go to the bank, no money there, you can't get your money out. Internet goes down, what are you going to do looking for your deeds, looking for all this other stuff to your car, to your home, to your cattle, to your whatever? It's not there anymore. Your corporation, your everything, even birth certificates and all that. I imagine from my understanding when it goes down, it's not much going to... And, well, if the internet goes down, you have to wonder about that. Back in 2000 when it went up, I did. And that goes down, and that's it. And my understanding, I believe it because of what I was put through in trying to do the book and all that, that there's supposed to be not just for that, but there may be a magnetic pole shift. And in other words, I've heard that mentioned that it's taking place now. Well, everything go topsy-turvy and vertigo, and you won't be able to exist really. But anyway, they're saying that's already taking place. And I had heard that from when I worked up in D.C., and the person that told me that, I believe he knew what he was talking about. Anyway, I put this up. I don't, because I'm listening to CNN, who's always known the truth about me and what I was telling them about, and the mind control murders, all that, down in Atlanta, when it was Ted Turner and then switched over to CNN. All of them knew about it. My husband went with me, and trying to get some, well, they already knew. They just weren't going to talk to, because they knew before I could verbalize it, let me say that I'd been kidnapped and who I am. So I guess I was shocked because it was the first time I heard it so blatantly put out there. And you're going to tell me that Prime Minister of Germany agrees with this crap, the global government? You gotta be kidding me.